Good morning, everybody. Will DuPree here in the KXAN live studio. Thank you all for joining us. We are about to carry a news conference from the Milam County Sheriff. A giant fire is burning there after a train and a semi-truck collided this morning, sparking the giant fireball there. Homes have been evacuated, but we may be getting an update about that from the sheriff here in just a moment, about that conditions and whether people have been allowed to return home. So let's take a listen as this news conference gets underway. Again, this is in Milam County near the town of Cameron.
Milam County, Texas. We've got a 18-wheeler versus train. It was called in at 6:40 this morning. Luckily, everybody seems to be okay. The driver is fine. The personnel on the train are fine. The train was carrying in the front compartments coal and gasoline, and so that's what caused the huge fire and all the smoke. There was some hazardous materials a little further back, so by the grace of God, we were saved on that one. And BNSF showed up pretty quick and disconnected and moved the hazardous cargo out of range or of the fire. So there's no more threat at this point. It's just put the fire out and clean the mess up. So everything is good, and there's no hazards to the people of the community.
Yeah. Can we talk any injuries at this time?
No injuries that I'm aware of. We do have some elderly people that we've evacuated from their homes, and it does appear that one home has burned down that was close to the tracks. But other than that, everybody seems to be safe and good.
What was the 18-wheeler carrying?
It doesn't. I did not see anything in the wreckage. It looked like it was a flatbed truck, and I don't recall seeing anything on top of the flatbed unless it was just busted off. I'm not aware of anything.
What kind of crossing was it? Was it a marked
Just
crossing?
a regular, yes, marked crossing. Would have had gates that would come down across the 2095 here.
Where are we at in that investigation? Is there anybody that we can...
DPS is in charge of that investigation, so I'll defer to them.
How many units were out here today helping out with the fire?
We have numerous units. We're represented Cameron Fire Department, Hearn Fire Department. Looked like I think I saw Rosebud and Temple has come in with their heavy hazmat crews. I think what's needed at this point, since there's no airborne hazard, what's needed now is heavy foam to get the fire put out.
And where are we going to get that heavy foam?
Temple Fire plus BNSF has crews coming from Houston and Dallas that they're well equipped to handle this kind of an emergency, and they'll probably be here in another 2 hours.
There were a few helicopters out here. What were they doing?
They were giving us a good visual. That was DPS Air. They were giving us a good visual of the overall impact area and if there was any other dangers or threats.
The conductor and the truck driver, were they taken to local hospitals? What's their status?
No, they seem to be perfectly fine, and they are still on scene.
What time did this happen this morning?
6:40 this morning is when we got the call.
And then do you have any idea how many people you evacuated?
Oh.
And how wide of an area?
Well, when we got to the immediate area and in the direction of the smoke initially when it all started, when we finally got a manifest about what the train was carrying, we expanded it out to the community of Marlow. But at this point, with the hazardous materials out of the danger, it's just a voluntary evacuation, except for our immediate zone right here. It's all still keeping people out until we get the fire put out.
Yeah, since the fire was too hot to put out right away, and with the evacuations that had to be taking place, how important was it that all these units worked together and you got everyone out safely? Oh,
it was extremely important, and we did a wonderful job. Cameron PD stepped up. They came out and helped us evacuate, and the deputies as well as DPS were the initial units on the scene. And then fire department rolled in and helped evacuate the Marlow when we weren't sure about the hazmat.
There were 3 cars that went off the tracks. Can you talk about what was in those
I think it's actually somewhere around 11 cars or so that have gone off the tracks.
And what were they carrying?
I was advised gasoline, some other materials I can't pronounce, but that are not a hazard, and coal. So there was some coal, gasoline, and some other items that, again, the biggest threat was the phosphoric acid solution, but that was one car behind the fire area, and so it was not perforated or an issue. And we do thank God for that.
How close were we to a mass
We were pretty close. So we were getting ready to start the evacuations of probably the town, but with the fire contained and not moving backwards towards that sulfuric acid, we were confident we would be okay.
For those that are watching, what would sulfuric acid that gets?
I don't know a whole lot about it, except as soon as it perforates and starts burning, becomes a hazardous cloud.
The fire, is it out completely yet or no?
No, it's not out. Again, I believe with the coal that's burning and the gasoline, fueled by the gasoline, it'll take a lot of heavy foam that BNSF will have to bring.
How many hours do you expect to be out here?
I would say, well, it's just a guess, but I would say 4 to 6 hours at least, maybe even longer.
Are there any additional safety concerns at this time, or things that people should be aware of, or is the major threat over?
The major threat is over. Yep. And we thank BNSF, fire departments, and all these emergency crews that have come out. Anything else?
I think we're good. Anything else you'd like to say?
No, thank y'all very much.
Perfect.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, that was again the Milam County Sheriff updating about the situation that's unfolded about 6:40 this morning. A train carrying coal, gasoline, and in one car, a hazardous material, sulfuric acid. However, that car carrying the hazardous material was not involved with the crash, not affected by it, which is really good news because the situation could have been much worse. You're seeing there a reporter from the Waco area, I believe, about to do a live shot, so we'll bring that down, and I'll bring up some video that was sent in by the sheriff. He posted this earlier showing the very heavy smoke and flames you see shooting up there from the crash site. This is now being investigated by the Texas Department of Public Safety. Multiple crews are now on their way and responding to this. We know of no injuries to report at this time, which is some good news for sure. The sheriff there saying that crews from Dallas and Houston are on their way to be able to help with this response because it's going to require heavy foam, the sheriff said, to put out the flames. The local fire departments there do not have access to that at this time, so they're awaiting those crews from Dallas and Houston to arrive to help put out the fire. The sheriff did say that what's burning right now are some of those cars that had coal and gasoline. What he said is that there is no major threat to the public. That has at least been alleviated. The car that was carrying sulfuric acid has been moved away by BNSF, the train company, which is some good news for sure, because he said this came pretty close to having a mass evacuation of maybe the entire community. So they did avoid having to do that for sure. There have been a few homes evacuated, the sheriff said. One home has burned near the train tracks. However, there are no injuries. The truck driver was not injured, and no one with the train crew was injured as well. The sheriff said they remain on site and assisting with the investigation. The Department of Public Safety helicopter was on scene, so if anybody's living out there in Milam County near Cameron, you may have seen the helicopter flying overhead. That was giving some visuals from overhead, obviously, to the crews on scene to see just how widespread this particular situation is. There are at least 11 cars that went off the tracks. So all in all, this situation is being contained. Again, additional fire crews are coming there to put out the flames, but according to the sheriff, there is no direct threat, no mass threat anymore to the community there. So again, that's some good news to share with this particular crash. I want to go back to this live shot really quickly to see, and there you see it. This is, again, live there from Milam County near Cameron. And we'll take that full screen. You'll notice this is not, this live signal is not coming from one of our crews. This is a team from the Waco area, and they are carrying this for us. So just bear with us if they move the view at all as we bring you this live image there as smoke continues billowing from the wreckage that happened this morning at about 6:40. And there you see, as I zoom in, that flames are still burning. What the sheriff said is that that train was carrying coal and gasoline, and that's what's currently burning right now. If you're wondering where specifically this is, what is being reported is that this crash happened near Cameron, the town of Cameron there in Milam County, on Farm to Market Road 2095. Farm to Market Road 2095. No injuries to report at this time, despite how gruesome that fire looks right there. The truck driver and the crew on the train are all safe. No one was hurt. They are assisting with the investigation. Crews from Dallas and Houston are now on their way and maybe a couple of hours away from getting there to assist. They are bringing heavy foam in to try to control these flames that are burning right now. The crews remaining on site. As you can see, a stream of water being directed towards the fire kind of there in the distance. You can see right there at the kind of bottom center of your screen.
Again, this coming in about...
If you're just joining us, I'm Will DuPree here in the KXAN live studio in Austin, but we're bringing you a live image from Milam County near the town of Cameron there. A crash happened at about 6:40 this morning between a semi-truck and a train that was carrying gasoline and coal, as well as a hazardous chemical, sulfuric acid. What we're seeing burning right now, according to the Milam County Sheriff, is the coal and gasoline. BNSF, the train company, has moved away the car that had the sulfuric acid. So that has been moved away and is no longer a major threat to the community. What the sheriff said, though, was that if that had been affected, if that had been involved with the crash in some way, then that would have likely led to the mass evacuation of that community. Fortunately, there are no injuries to report. No one from the truck or the train itself was hurt in this. Several people had to be evacuated close by. We do know from the sheriff's news conference that wrapped up a few moments ago that one home has burned as well. The Texas Department of Public Safety is handling the investigation now. A helicopter from DPS arrived not too long ago, flying overhead, trying to provide some visuals for the crews that are working on the ground still. As you can see, the fire burning there in the distance with heavy smoke pouring out. So if you know anybody in that area and they're questioning, why is all this heavy smoke billowing in the sky right there? This is it right here. This is the live image there from Milam County near Cameron. It looks like right there in the center of the screen, one of the train cars that still remains on the tracks from at least this angle. The sheriff said a few moments ago that at least 11 cars carried by the train are now off the tracks. And it will likely last a while before this smoke is cleared out and the fire knocked down. Again, crews from both Dallas and Houston are on their way to bring heavy foam to put on the fire because it will do a better job at containing the flames, which still burn at this hour. Again, this is going on about almost a little over 3 hours at this point. The crash happened at about 6:40 this morning. We do have a crew from KXAN on their way. Our reporter, Jayla Washington, is going there to report on this situation. She has headed that way. If we get her in a little bit, we might jump back on to provide a live report and what she's seeing there at the scene as those flames tower even above this home's roof right here. You might see that come up just above the tree line even too a second ago. Again, what we know is that several homes have been evacuated. At least one home has burned that was right there by the train tracks, but no one injured. No one on the truck or the train that was involved in this crash was hurt, and no one who lives nearby there was injured either. But this is a scene that will be continuing to play out for several hours as that fire still burns at this hour, almost 4 hours after the crash happened this morning. Thanks again for sticking with us, everybody. I'm Will DuPree here in the KXAN live studio in Austin. Once again, you all are looking live right now at Cameron, the city of Cameron right there in Milam County, dealing with this massive fire that started at about 6:40 this morning after a semi-truck and a train collided. This again is on Farm to Market Road 2095. Again in the city of Cameron in Milam County. What the sheriff told us just a moment ago, just to recount for everybody out there if you're just joining us, the sheriff in Milam County told us that a train and a semi collided at about 6:40 this morning, and the train was carrying coal and gasoline as well as a hazardous chemical. However, that hazardous chemical, the car that was carrying that, was not involved in this crash. That has now been moved away, which has eliminated a major threat for the community. The sheriff said they were very close, if that had been involved, to having a mass evacuation of the community. Again, that is not happening right now. However, they are allowing this fire to continue burning since it's only involving coal and gasoline. Fire crews from Houston and Dallas are on their way to provide heavy foam to try to contain the fire. Crews remain on the scene watching this. What the sheriff said there just a few moments ago was that several homes have been evacuated. One home was destroyed by the fire, and there have been, fortunately, no injuries reported whatsoever from any of the residents nearby or those on the truck or the train. Again, that is pretty miraculous to say based on the visuals we're seeing right here. As flames continue to rise from the wreckage right there, at least 11 cars from the train derailed. The Texas Department of Public Safety is now investigating the crash. A helicopter from DPS provided some visuals from overhead. As the photographer changes his shot and gets situated once again, DPS again providing some aerial views to the crews on the ground to show just how extensive the wreckage site is in particular. But this fire is likely to burn for a few more hours as we await those crews from both Dallas and Houston to arrive to provide heavy foam to contain the flames. We have more information about this on our website. That's KXAN.com and on the KXAN News app, so please download that if you've not done so already. We will continue to monitor this situation. We do have a crew on the way to the scene right there. We may jump back on here and provide another stream as soon as they are available to get the latest about the situation. But right now, there are no more evacuations than a few homes around that particular area. One home was destroyed. No one was injured on either the truck, the train, or any of the residents nearby. That's the fortunate part for sure. A car carrying some hazardous material was moved away from the scene, avoiding a potentially worse situation there. Again, you see a reporter getting situated. He may be doing a live shot right there in just a moment. So we'll go ahead and end this stream. Thank you all for watching. We'll provide more details on our website. You can read more there. And we might have another stream later as our crew arrives there in Cameron in Milam County. Thank you all again for watching. I'm Will DuPree. Take care. We'll see you back here another time.